They started off by beating Bournemouth, then they beat Watford. Routine for them, it seems, for the past year under Pep Guardiola. But then that Chelsea game happened, which they lost. They won the Champions League, they won the League Cup on penalties. They beat Everton, and then we've just seen them lose back-to-back. Leicester, obviously, before this as well.
It's difficult to fathom exactly why such a sharp dip in form, really. I didn't see the whole Chelsea game. I saw the early part of it, and they were totally dominant up until Kante scored, and then fell away, and confidence grew in Chelsea and faltered in Manchester City, which is quite unusual, really, because you're thinking, he's saying there about building them up, helping their confidence, and working harder, and all the normal things, but they shouldn't need that, really. They're top-class players. They've only got to look at what they've done over the last couple of seasons to endorse and encourage them to go on even more. But it's, Fernandinho hasn't featured.
That's the thing. Is it that important that they can't beat a Crystal Palace at the Etihad, that they can't go and at least get a point against Leicester without Fernandinho?
Yeah. I think that's part of it. It's not the only reason. It coincided with some excellent play from the opposition. We just mentioned the goals there, Townsend, Ricardo. But it's one of the elements, without a doubt. They are not the same team without Fernandinho or someone of his quality who they haven't got to replace him. Playing in that position, he is. They mentioned about platform earlier, and he is the platform for all the other array of players to go and do their stuff.
Yeah, I think every team has a driving force. Every team might have one or two or three, but there's a driving force in every team, and there's no doubt about it that where City are concerned is Fernandinho. Where everyone looks at, sees the energy, sees him snapping around, and they all join in. And he gives that impetus, as you say, to go on and for people to go and do their thing. Without him, they're all looking at each other. Even great teams like City, you need to have that one person who sparks it all off.
It's just that they're in a position which they're unfamiliar with for the past season and a half, which is to be chasing the leader.
Yeah.
And not just chasing by 1 point, we're talking 6 points now.
Yeah. And they're chasing a phenomenal Liverpool side. This is not a Liverpool side where you could say they've been up there before and then they fell away. They don't look like falling away. And at the moment, Liverpool look head and shoulders above City.
When's the last time you saw a Liverpool side this good then? And they haven't won anything. That should be stressed. This team has not won anything, but in the past 15 years, 20 years, we've seen them win FA Cups, League Cups, UEFA Cups, Champions Leagues, but not the title. So where does this side rank?
I think it's as good as anything that Liverpool have had in the Premier League, certainly. I think that Liverpool were always strong, always had they won 5 trophies in a season once under Houllier, but they weren't Champions League material. They put together a phenomenal run to win the Champions League under Benitez. Absolutely. No one thought that was ever going to happen.
They got to the final again, let's not forget.
And they got to the final under Klopp, but the signs have been there under Klopp from day one. In Europe, certainly. The Europa League, that they lost the Champions League, that they lost, and they're just getting even better. I wouldn't be surprised to see Liverpool win the Champions League as well as the Premier League, because they're just because if you're solid in the league, that's one thing. In terms of one-off games, as I call them, in cup competition, Liverpool are the last team probably in Europe that you want to face in a one-off game in cup competition.
Dave, above like a Barcelona, above a Real Madrid, above a Juventus, above a PSG.
Yeah, Real Madrid aren't having the greatest season. PSG are in a very weak league. Barcelona aren't the Barcelona when they just steamrolled everyone. Liverpool are the form side for me. Possibly the only team that could give them a match in terms of the way they both play, attacking, is probably Juventus.
Big shout there.
Well, I'm with you on that. I think a lot of the big teams are not of the quality that they have been over recent times, over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Barcelona's still not a bad outfit, but they're not the same as they were under Guardiola, etc. Bayern Munich, so, and all the other teams you mentioned.
Yeah,
they're in with a great shout. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think we're jumping the gun. They've certainly got as good a chance as any other. They're looking very strong in the league, very strong. If they can come through Obviously, the Arsenal game.
But the thing is, there's always seemed to be this mental block with Liverpool when it comes to the league.
I don't think that's there. I don't know. Perhaps
they've got characters this time.
Yeah, they've got different players. Yeah. It's a different team, different manager, different era, and different mindset as well. I think the history, they'll be aware of what has happened before, and it seems to me that will make them doubly determined. They've got that opportunity to go for it. They're in the driving seat. And surprisingly, I don't think they're going to let it go.
Okay,